Hello and welcome everyone to Now German, Lektion 44, Lesson 44. Hey, Sie.
Hello everyone, welcome. Hey Gregor.
So last lesson we learned about asking about the time. Wie spät ist es? Do you know how to answer if you also have to tell me the minutes?
Es ist 6:15 Uhr.
Yes, exactly. And talking about time also with minutes is what we look at in this lesson. And there are some challenges when we do that in German, but first let's go have a look at our dialogue and we'll clear them up afterwards.
Wie spät es ist?
Es ist 2:05.
Oh nein, mein Deutschkurs fängt Viertel vor 2 an.
Kein Problem, du hast ja noch 10 Minuten.
Jetzt nur noch 9 Minuten.
All right, let's look at the vocab. Wie spät?
Wie spät?
What time, or literally how late. We saw that in the last lesson. And then our tricky word for the day is called halb.
Halb.
Halb, that literally means half. Like if you slice an apple in half, you have a half apple. That's how we use it, but we also use it for time. And the reason it's so tricky is because in German, when we say half, in English, you'd say 1:30, 2:30. But in German, when we say halb, we mean half before. So, for example, 1:30, 1:30 is actually 1:30. So you go back in time rather than forward in time. So it's just a very different logic compared to English. But we'll look at that in detail in our grammar section. So next we have 5 nach.
5 nach.
That is 5 past. And then we have der Deutschkurs.
Der Deutschkurs.
And we have anfangen.
Anfangen.
To begin. Or it or he begins.
Fängt an.
You see it here in the vocab list. It's the next one. It's irregular. So it will be fängt an.
Fängt an.
Yes. Ich fange an. And then after that, du and are irregular. Du fängst an, fängt an. All right. And then we have Viertel vor.
Viertel vor.
That is 1:45. And kein Problem.
Kein Problem.
No problem. One of my favorite things to say whenever someone asks me to do something. Gregor, can you cook a steak? I will say, kein Problem. Or if I ask you, shall we go out for a date? What can you say?
Kein Problem.
Well, I think that is not a good example. It's more of a good example actually when I ask someone else to do something. So, for example, I brewed the tea, but I'm busy with something and I will ask, could you please bring me the tea? Then you could say,
Kein Problem.
yes, exactly. No problem. And we have noch.
Noch.
That means still. And we have die Minute.
Die Minute.
That's the minute. And minutes in plural is die Minuten.
Die Minuten.
Yes, exactly. And a few more words. Jetzt.
Jetzt.
That's now. And nur noch.
Nur noch.
That means only, just. Nur on its own means only, and noch, as we just saw before, is still. So only still, you could also translate it as only just. It's like a limited amount of time is left, for example. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay, then let's go look at our dialogue one more time.
Wie spät ist es?
Es ist 2:05.
Oh nein, mein Deutschkurs fängt Viertel vor 2 an.
Kein Problem, du hast ja noch 10 Minuten.
Jetzt nur noch 9 Minuten.
Yes, exactly. So let's look at how to talk about time with minutes. And we have two different ways. first we'll look at one way that is very straightforward. So for example, that's the one you used in the example you gave in the beginning. If it is 15 past, like 12:15, we could say, how could you say that?
12:05.
So that is 5 past, but 15 is?
12:15.
That's right. But let's go quickly through all of them. 5 past is?
12:05.
Yes. And 10?
12:10.
15?
12:15.
Yes, and then you basically just go through the numbers up until you can even also use individual numbers. What is 12:55?
12:55.
And if we, for example, have a train schedule, we might also see time like 12:59. How would you say that?
12:59.
Yes. So that is kind of digital way to talk about time, but we also have, like in English, kind of more traditional way to talk about time, and I'll show you that now. We'll mention things like 5 past or 5 to or half past, this kind of method, and I'll tell you 5 past is 5:12.
5:12.
And then it continues logically 10:12.
10:12.
And 11:45.
4:12.
And by the way, Viertel, that means a quarter. So if you have a circle and you cut off 1/4, that is a Viertel in German. Also, if you have like an apple and you slice it for 4 people and you give everyone a quarter, that's also ein Viertel Apfel. And then we have 20:12.
20:12.
Yes, 20 past 12, 20 minutes past 12. And then after that, you see I put the warning signs there. That's when you need to pay attention. First, the simpler one is 12:30. What is 12:30? You see it there.
Halb eins.
That's right. So that's where we change the number. And I said it before, I'm just saying it again for emphasis here. At 12:30, 12:30 in German is halb eins, which is literally half before 1 o'clock. So that's how we do it. And also 25 and 35, of course, they will then work the same way. So what is 12:25?
5 für halb eins.
Yes, 5 vor halb eins. And then 35?
5 nach halb eins.
That's right. That's right. And then after that, it gets more similar to English again. 12:40 is 20 vor eins.
20 vor eins.
And 12:45?
Viertel vor eins.
12:50?
10 vor eins.
12:55?
5 vor eins.
Yes. And if you are a German student, I think you should ask yourself, what is your goal for learning German and why do you learn it? And in most cases, I recommend it's enough to understand this time. And you just, when you talk about time, you just use the digital time right here because it's just much easier. Of course, if you want to speak perfect language, it's great to know every formulation, but it's always a trade-off. What do you spend your time studying? And this kind of traditional way to talk about time is not really more useful than the digital one. It's just something that came out of history. So if you understand it, I think it's enough. What do you think?
I agree.
Yes. And of course, if you take, for example, A1 exam, you got to know what are the exam questions. But if you follow along all the lessons here, you will be definitely ready for that. All right. Shall we look at our dialogue one more time?
Yes. Wie spät ist es?
Es ist 1:55.
Oh nein, mein Deutschkurs fängt Viertel für 2 an.
Kein Problem. Du hast ja noch 10 Minuten.
Jetzt nur nach 9 Minuten.
Yes. All right. 5 vor halb, 5 nach halb. That's how we talk about time. And we'll definitely look at this more in future lessons. What's your favorite time of the day?
Uh, 21 Uhr.
21 Uhr. All
Yeah.
right. Yeah, we'll definitely talk about more activities that you can do 21 Uhr. I think these are often the fun things and also what you can do in German. All right. See you in the next one. Tschüss.
Tschüss.